I'm Andrew Nesky, and this is Science and the Outer Streams. The quest for enlightenment is as old as the human condition. For many, this quest takes the form of asceticism and denial. For others, it is a process predicated on one's good works. Today, we will be investigating a third and more unique perspective on this process. Our guest is Sri Siva Brzee, a scholar mystic from the ancient Siddha tradition of southern India. The Tamil Siddhas are a lineage of spiritual masters who have perfected advanced techniques for developing supreme mind power and longevity. Guru Brzee is the first generation of his tradition to travel and speak publicly in the West. His teachings include helping a seeker to learn the secrets to manifesting wealth and abundance in every aspect of life. He has been quoted as saying, "Financial freedom gives a sense of safety, security, and above all, authenticity." In addition to his extensive credentials in esoteric areas, Sri Siva Brzee has a master's degree in English literature and a Master of Letters in Comparative Literature from the University of Madurai, India. He also holds a PhD in Hinduism from the University of Pittsburgh, where he taught for nearly a decade. Thank you so much for coming, Guru Brzee. Thank you. This program will be presented to a large audience, people that may or may not be familiar with your ideas. Can you expound on what is enlightenment and why is it desirable?
Well, the term enlightenment, even if you take it literally, is getting more light. Light and consciousness are synonyms. Your consciousness is going to depend on the light you have. And light gives you understanding. That's why it is related to consciousness. To put it simply, if we shut off all the light here, there will be very little knowledge. We will bump into each other because there is absence of light. Absence of light is absence of knowledge. So if one has more light, he will have more knowledge. Okay. And there are different frequencies of light. There are, these laser beams,
Yes.
X-rays, gamma rays. These are intelligent principles of light. And these are still physical. There are astral lights, causal lights. So these lights have tremendous amount of knowledge or wisdom locked into it. So enlightenment is the human consciousness rising out to those frequencies of light and living that in order to gain more knowledge. So enlightenment is basically a pursuit to get unlimited knowledge, unlimited wisdom. It is desirable because knowledge is always desirable, because it is through knowledge that we are able to have a better life.
There are many people in the West who, I've heard this even among friends that I've had dialogues with, you think too much. We don't want to talk about those items, the items that deal with transcendental topics, ideas that deal with higher levels of wisdom. As a matter of fact, I think you could say that in the West we have a preoccupation with maintaining, it seems, our identity structure.
Yeah.
And when this identity structure gets threatened, as can happen in this sort of processes, that there's a lid that comes down. I don't need this information. My life is good as it is. I need simply to acquire more material objects and to provide for my family. I don't. The wisdom doesn't matter to me. How would you respond to that?
Well, spirituality is an unfamiliar realm. When you are not familiar about something, you are naturally afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And also down the ages, religion has been presented in a rather negative way. For instance, God has been conceived not as a fun-loving person, but as a killjoy. You go to church or synagogue or temple or whatever religious institution you go to. And the kind of image that you have, you become very grave, very serious, as though God is opposed to life.
Mm-hmm.
And the monastic, ascetic traditions, which go along with many religious traditions, affirm this kind of thing. And people uh, ridicule these kinds of things because spirituality and religion are looked upon as not affirming life, but going away from life. And this has to be changed. And this is a wrong notion. But at least within the yoga tradition, within my tradition, the Siddha tradition, it is very, very important to affirm life. And it is a misfortune that even in India, the mainline tradition is more towards renouncing life. Enlightenment is for someone who just doesn't care about making money, doesn't care about raising a family, doesn't care about leading an ordinary life, just for one who lives in the Himalayas and who rejects these kinds of things. So this kind of an attitude, is there out, and people are not attracted towards these kinds of ideas. That's why they just want to stay away from that, And this is time that people correct this notion towards it and try to understand enlightenment as a tradition which is not against life, but one that affirms life, and also not only affirms life, but also one that helps to improve life. For instance, a few years ago, I gave Wayne Dyer a technique, a meditation with a mantra sound. And the purpose of the meditation was to create whatever you want to create in your life. And it came from my Siddha tradition. And now this technique is being practiced at least 1 million people.